Well, I'm on the last push up to the lookout. I scouted out a little bit up ahead. It's getting steeper and more rutted. This might be the difficult section, so here we go. Hello, my name is Bruce and welcome to my channel. This is part 2 of a 2-part video series where I ride my KTM 390 adventure motorcycle and explore forest fire lookout towers within about 50 miles of my home in Southern Oregon. In part 1 of this series, I was able to explore Chase Mountain, Parker Mountain, Mule Hill, and Table Mountain lookouts. On this part 2, I'm going to explore 3 additional lookouts: Robinson Butte, Bald Knob, and Dutchman Peak. Come and join me for this adventure. Well, there it is. Yes, I made it. I made it. How about that? There's my home for the night. If you follow my channel, you may recognize this lookout, Bald Mountain. I have a separate video where I rode up to Bald Mountain, reserved it for the night as it is a rental lookout at this time, and explored the area on a 2-day motorcycle ride. Bald Knob Lookout Tower sits at only 3,630 feet in elevation. That's not very high up. That's fairly low. The mountains out here on the coastal range are not, steep and big mountains like you find in the Rocky Mountains of the U.S. or even in Southern California. And they're mostly all tree covered. So like I said, this is called Bald Knob. Well, maybe at one time it was, but the trees have all grown back. Also, the fire lookouts are kind of a thing of the past, as you may know. We have such good satellites and airplanes and spotters and more people around, and such that the lookout towers are getting manned less and less. They take a lot of upkeep. It's a lonely job. Oftentimes they don't spot any fires over the course of a season. So some of them are being torn down. And others, like this one, are being converted into a recreation cabin that you can rent, and others are just, dilapidated. So there's quite a few lookouts in Oregon that are still standing. I'll put the number here. I don't remember exactly what it is, but I'll probably go keep exploring them on my motorcycle. They're kind of a fun destination. Robinson Butte is a lookout that's built on a tower because, as you see around me, there's a lot of trees, and so to get the long views they had to build some of the lookouts on a tower. This one is no longer used. I think it was last used in 2016 and has gone into disrepair since. This road has a lot of shadows in it, which makes it difficult to really see the terrain if there's any ruts or washouts. I'll just continue on in first gear. I don't want any surprises. I looked at my Gaia maps, which I use this app a lot for navigating, and that's me, and I'm almost to Robinson Butte, the peak, which is up this road here. Now I've decided to stop and turn around here because it's getting a little bit steep, and sometimes at the top there's very little areas to turn around. So I think I'm going to walk this last few hundred yards just to be safe. Well, I'm approaching the lookout tower, and I hear voices though, so I think there's somebody probably up here. Oh, it's a forestry crew. Private. All right, I talked to the forestry crew. They're a contract with the Forest Service. This is their station where they come up and spend part of the day, and they have an area that they patrol. So Forest Service has done a real good job in the last couple of years of getting on these fires right off the bat. And here is the lookout that is condemned, do not enter, but you know, that sign doesn't pertain to me, right? Well, I considered climbing up those stairs. I took a few steps and they did not look very safe for this old body. So I decided instead, you know, I've got my drone. I'll let my drone do the looking. Well, I could have probably ridden up this road. I was erring to the side of caution, as they say. I've been up some of these roads that lead to a lookout tower, and there's a gate right when you get there, and it's on a hill and nowhere to turn around. So I was kind of afraid of that. It's also, this is the steepest part, and it's a little slippery with you know, gravel and ruts. So play a little cautious on that. But it was also nice talking to the guys with the forestry truck. Now, they're a private firm under contract with the Forest Service to patrol this area of the National Forest. Evidently, they're stationed up here at the lookout. So times have really changed. Back in my day, you know, there would be someone in the lookout, and it would be Forest Service employees like myself and my partner back in 1970, who would be doing the job of a private contractor. But because of so many devastating fires in the last 15 or 20 years, the federal firefighting agencies, rightfully so, have put more resources early on in a fire to get them under control or out before they become, you know, raging infernals of 100,000 acres. So that's why you see this kind of a partnership now happening between the various agencies and private companies. We've had quite a few fires here in Southern Oregon, but all of them have been small. They get on them right off the bat and put the resources needed to get them out and ultimately keep the costs down of fighting massive fires, which really cost millions and millions of dollars. So I guess I'm saying good job, Forest Service, I think. I know you have a lot of controversy and people have different opinions about the agency, but I think they're doing a pretty good job here in Oregon, given all the trees and dead that we have all over the place. All it takes is one little spark and boom, we have a fire. And I believe that this peak up ahead of me here is Dutchman Peak. This area is called the Siskiyou Crest. It's right on the border of Oregon and California.
Mount Ashland way out in the distance. Well, there's Dutchman Peak way out there, the lookout tower on top of it. So far the road's pretty good. I decided to park the motorcycle. There's two other vehicles here because the road starts to get real steep. Might not show up that well on this video, but I don't know this road and I don't want to get to a spot where I can't really turn around or put the kickstand down. So I'll see if I can walk it. Well, I wouldn't have made it very far anyhow. There's a gate here. It says, welcome to Dutchman Peak Fire Lookout. Visiting hours are 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. when the flag is flying. Well, a bit out of breath, but I see it up here. It's still a little ways away. Well, I'm out of breath, so I'm going to take my breath for a few seconds here, but it looks like the lookout is open. There's a flag flying. So as soon as I catch my breath, I'll go up there and see who's there. Hello. Are you Kevin?
Yeah.
Pretty good. Do you mind if I film?
Sure. What are you up to?
I'm just up here checking out what you're up to.
Oh, okay.
Dutchman Peak Lookout is one of the few lookouts that are still being manned and in service seasonally. The lookout was originally built in 1927, making it one of the oldest lookouts still in active service in the United States. Dutchman Peak Lookout is a small cupola-style lookout. There were very few cupola-style lookouts made, and Dutchman Peak is the last one still standing. I have a previous YouTube video titled My Redemption Ride where I visited Dutchman Peak. Kevin, the lookout, is in his 18th season manning this lookout.
Going up the stairs into the cupola where he's got the rangefinder, that's Osborne rangefinder. He said there's only two of these cupolas in the Forest Service. Wow, this is pretty interesting up here. Oh, there's the view. Look at that. Wow, and here it is. That rangefinder has been around at least since I was a firefighter back in 1970. Technology hasn't changed for that.
1910.
1910, he just told me. Thanks, Kevin. Look at that view.
It works.
It was clear. It'd be an awesome view. Yep. Brings back some memories. And here's the cabin that they're working on right here. Kevin will stay in there once it gets finished, basically to eat and sleep, instead of the cramped quarters up in the lookout. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up. Think about subscribing, and I'll see you next time on one of my senior moments.